Okay, Mark, can you talk to me a little about how it's been being a coach and a parent for Shae?
Well, hey, let's see here. When we first started, that was not my intent. My intent was she came out as a freshman, was just to be dad, and she came home one day and surprised me with, I'm going to be a track athlete. And she was a figure skater. I'm like, really? So I came and watched her right in this field, matter of fact. And I watched her, and I told her mother, I said, we definitely need to do this. So I didn't know I was going to be a coach. It wasn't my plan, even though I have the capability to do so. So as we transitioned after her sophomore year to coaching, it was on a limited basis. I introduced her to the multiple events to see which ones she would maybe want to do. And she fell in love with every event on the field. I'm like, okay, well, that'd be a heptathlete. So anyway, it was kind of fun. Shae's a great kid. She's a very balanced kid as far as her ability to just pick things up pretty quickly. And so that was a blast. It's been, as far as the coaching experience, father-daughter, I think I have retired at least 20 times, and I think she's wanted to fire me about that many too. But ultimately, we work it well together. We're dedicated to each other, father, daughter, and it's been an absolute pleasure. While there's been some pain, I wouldn't trade in the last couple of years of my life for anything.
How do you kind of like disseminate the two between like here at the track, obviously you gotta kind of maybe give her a little bit of coaxing every now and then, like at home kind of just be like dad hanging out on the couch watching TV. Like, is there kind of any difference, or is it kind of the same person? Like, how have you kind of...
Yeah, you know what, out here, and even as you were out here today, you kind of saw a little bit of the coaching dad. We kind of have a pretty light, we're pretty light together at home, and then we're also serious. I don't know, we kind of flow the same way on the track that we do at home, and Shae is she likes to be challenged. She loves to challenge back. So we have that kind of little edgy little, she'll ask me, well, you can't do that, and I can do that. And so we always have that competitive thing going on, whether I can walk faster or jog faster or she can run faster. We have got that, but it's pretty much what you see with us out here, you see it at home.
Awesome. How have your experiences and what you did as a track athlete kind of helped you to be able to coach her to the level that she's at?
Yeah, that's probably been a really good thing. When I came up back in my year, Mark, Set, Go was our way of training. And again, I had great coaches that changed my life forever, but we didn't do the same things that we do now. We were not, we just didn't work as much back in those days, back in the 80s and 70s on the technical running aspect, the dorsiflex. I never even heard those terms. So for me, as being a person who really is highly motivated in those areas, it's been a lot of fun to work with Shae and see her apply those things so I could work on the elements from base up. And we're still working on those things. She's nowhere near, she's a little baby in this sport. So my ability, I think, as her father has been to look deeper maybe than somebody else would, and to help her rest properly. And we've learned along the way too. She had a 4-month spurt last year where I had to pull her back because she grew. It wasn't an injury. She grew, and over that time she had hip flexors that were tight and sore. It wasn't overuse. But I learned right there that, you know what, there's a time to grow, there's a time to throw, so to speak. And as she was doing there, I learned that rest is just as valuable as working out. Stretching is just as valuable as getting strong, and it all goes together. So me being her father, I think that I've had the ability to study her, look at her, evaluate her as maybe nobody else maybe ever will. Maybe they will, I don't know. But at this point, we've learned how to work together. And then the other part for me and Shae is that when my daughter says to me, Dad, I got this going on, I listen. She speaks very loudly with her little soft words that, hey, I'm feeling this. And when I hear her say things like that, I am more than willing to shut it down for the day.
What's it been like with the recruiting process? I know, all of a sudden she's had all these schools looking at her. What's it like as her dad to kind of give guidance and coach to give guidance, but also kind of, let her kind of feel it out and see for herself as well?
Yeah, I know Shae's really excited about the college experience and going to college. Because I was a UCLA Bruin and went through that myself, it's been helpful for me to at least be there by her side. I wouldn't change what I did. I think I had great opportunities there at UCLA, and it's been wonderful. But the process for Shae, I like it to have happened last year where we had more time. It seems a little bit all intense right now, so fast, because we're in the biggest season of her life. We've got state coming up, then the junior nationals, then the junior hopefully worlds. Her goal is to go do all those. So the whole school thing doesn't really fit in the schedule of training, we're doing the best we can to balance it. We're not taking every trip that we would like to take, but I think we're somewhat narrowed down to where we want to go. I think that's pretty much where we both are in this and where she is. And again, it's her decision, not mine, but her mother and I are right there with her, supporting her with whatever she chooses to do.
Awesome. And what kind of advice would you give to a parent or even an athlete who maybe is like Shae and comes on late in their senior year, late in their junior year, and really starts exploding onto the scene, and all of a sudden has all these colleges knocking at their door? What kind of advice would you give to parents like that?
Well, it's interesting. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine just yesterday, and he was like, "Are you guys doing anything with your signing because it's signing week?" And I said, "No." I said, "We just aren't comfortable making that right now because we haven't taken the visits, all the visits that we want to take." And he's like, "Wow, but everybody else is signing. Is there?" And I said, "Yeah, but we can't do that. It's too big of it's way too important." I would just say for any athlete that would come up as quickly as maybe Shae has, be patient and make sure you make the right decisions, because it is one that's going to be for life. You don't go and do it twice. You could, but I don't think most people would want to. And I know we don't want to. We want to make the right decision. We want it to be the right fit for her, academically, athletically. We want it to be with the right coaching staff. We want it to be a family decision with our family, that we can be around her. We also want it to be a great blessing to whatever school she goes to, and vice versa back to her.